444 I'm starting this. Let's go ahead and journal. Let's see. First thing I had to do for today. Oh, let's also. Welcome to the graffiti jungle. Paulo Pulengue. Benvenuti nella giungla del graffiti. Questo è impostore rockstar. Fake rockstar trash show. Pensieri tangentiali, formerly known as Tangential Thoughts Trash Show. We was working on a podcast yesterday. We might chill out. We might not do it today. We might not work on a podcast today. I don't know. We had a good thing going. We had a good thing going. Let me see. But today, just moving through. Let me see. The merch orders is definitely a focus for the next whatchamacallit. You've got mail. And then alright, boom, there. Nice. Super chats, gifts, merch orders, book orders. Alright, boom. We have my favorite shirt that I made today, created today. The favorite shirt I created today, designed today. The favorite shirt I designed today is the Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is the best transformation. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is the best transformation. That's the shirt I like the best. We did a lot of different whatchamacallits. Shirts were either the 60s. I'm not maybe in the 70s. Maybe like one or two in the 70s. And then, but the Super Saiyan 4 Goku was 80, and that was the highest one I think for today. Not that I was trying to, but it was just, yeah. Okay. Oh. What else? So of course we had to feed the tarantula. Of course, I had to feed the tarantula, and so. Let me see. It had to be tarantula, right? The first thing was getting the crickets out of the Pringle can into the tarantula thing and making sure that's covered. Remember, the top on the tarantula thing, if a bug was to crawl up, it can crawl out. So I can't just whatchamacallit. I gotta like leave something on top of it, right? So the first thing I did was I kind of like shook it up a little bit, and 3 crickets were at the bottom. 1 cricket was still on the cardboard, so I took the cardboard out. But you know it's scary because I don't want the cricket to like jump or move, and then I'm like, it's dark, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta find out what you call it. So I dropped that in there, right? I dropped the cardboard with the 1 cricket inside. Boom, covered that up. Then I used my other little thing, flipped it over. Dropped all the crickets in there, right? So I got in there, and then I had dropped all the crickets in there, and then I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay. But it's no action. It's no action, right? Now, mind you, the cricket and the tarantula, everything moves slow. Everything moves slow. First of all, the tarantula don't even eat fast, right? So that's the whole thing. So the thing is, so after I got the tarantula in there, once I got the crickets all in there, I'm like, all right, all the crickets are in there, but I had the cardboard in there, and so I ended up, so then I'm just watching it, I'm checking on it, and then it's not a lot of light, it's kind of dark, so then I go to look, the tarantula is on the top of the cardboard, and okay, you're blocked. You don't need attention, bro. Not on this channel. Men don't seek attention here at the graffiti jungle. So from there, so all 4 crickets are in there, in the cardboard, But then the tarantula goes to the top of the cardboard. I'm like, all right, you having fun, but the crickets is down here. Like, what are you doing? So then I'm like, okay. Matter of fact, at one point, it was 3 crickets on the bottom and 1 cricket on the cardboard, and the tarantula was on the top of the cardboard. So I'm like, all right. At some point, this is over a span of 3 hours, right? So I'm sitting here watching the jump. Then I take the cardboard and I'm tilting it in such a way so that the tarantula will move. The tarantula gets off of it, and then I shake off the other cricket, and then I cover it back up. So now the tarantula and all 4 of the crickets are on the even playing field. Now, again, one of my things was that the crickets were in that Pringle bottle for a long time. I'm telling you about my day right now. I'm telling you about the day. So the start of my day was I get to the tent, and then I had to go feed the tarantula. And so I had to put the crickets in there. So once I got the crickets in there, took that cardboard out, and then it's the tarantula and all 4 crickets. The tarantula and all 4 crickets. So, no, I do not rap. I just have 2 poetry books, and I have a YouTube playlist called with some poetry. My 8th book is a digital YouTube poetry book. Yeah, I just do poetry. I don't rap. Words rhyme. Anyway, some words still. Thanks. Anyway, so from there, it's all 4 crickets in the tarantula in the jump, right? So now it's just like, all right, where do we go from here? So what do I do from here? It catches one. I'm like, all right, cool, caught one. Oh, one of the things was the crickets were in the Pringle can for like hours, right? So by the time it actually got in there, they were all 4 alive, but there was one. All right, now you're blocked. There was one that it was not really moving. It was moving, so it was like they were all 4 crickets were alive, but it wasn't moving a lot. And so 3 of the crickets, they're like actively moving around, or not actively. We'll talk about that. But 3 of the crickets were like on their legs and like kind of sort of moving around. The other cricket was on his back. So I'm like, okay. So I had to wait until the sun came up, until the light was out. Then I took one of my little paintbrushes, I flipped the cricket over. And then, so that was my last thing I had to sit there and worry about. Like, I was like, after this, it's on the, whatever happens. It's on the tarantula. I'm gonna leave it alone. So, but I at least saw the tarantula caught 1 cricket. So then it was a matter of the 3 other crickets. So the 2 crickets were okay, but the one was upside down. I had to flip that one over. So even once I flipped it over, it was weird. So the tarantula, like, you know, like basically where the eyes are for the tarantula. So that's a thing, right? Where the eyes are for the tarantula. And like, it was weird because so the crickets will stop moving and so like, it's weird when the tarantula is like trying to look and get certain stuff. It's like the tarantula will have to like move, but the tarantula be still too. Like, mind you, the tarantula's trying to pounce type ambush predator. So the tarantula is like still, and then the crickets are all like still. So I'm like, yo, nobody's moving, right? But if the tarantula like will like shove, like move stuff, that can get stuff moving so it can see. It was just so weird to like watch it because it was like, I'm sitting here looking at it, the tarantula literally had his leg on 1 cricket. And I'm like, okay. But that cricket not moving, so I'm like, yo, what's going on? And then as soon as the tarantula, these are simple questions. Why don't you have a pet? I had a snake. I had another snake. Why don't you have a pet? You scared of tarantula? I would then ask you, why are you scared of a tarantula? That's some, for lack of a better word, like. Anyway, so the tarantula had his leg on one of the crickets, and the cricket's not moving. And so I'm like, all right, like, and so, but then the tarantula moves or whatever, and then after a while the cricket would wait, and then the cricket would start moving. So like, it was like really weird. I seen that happen like a couple times. Like the tarantula, like, and it happened on 2 different crickets. The tarantula like put his leg on the cricket, and the cricket just not moving. And then so the tarantula, and so it's not getting it. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying. That was weird to me. That was weird. So after this, what else happened? Um, I think I saw it eat one, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like we're good. Like you eating. I flipped the other one over, and then by the time I woke up, 3 of the crickets were gone. But the one cricket that wasn't moving, that was the one that I really wanted the tarantula to get because that was the biggest cricket. I really wanted it to get that one. So the thing was, when I woke up though, like, not that, like at first they kind of like moving along the edge, but when I woke up, that one cricket it wasn't in the middle, but it wasn't on the edge. So it was like somewhere in between. And that's one. And it was like, but the last thing I saw was a tarantula, like literally, because at one point it was like this. I'm like, bro, what's she doing? Like, it was just huddled up. And then like when I moved, I'm gonna just call it a tank, even though it's not really a tank. But when I moved the tank, it moved, and then it went over top. It stepped on the other cricket. And so like the tarantula's literally over top of the cricket. This was the last cricket there. And the cricket was like, it wasn't like moving, but it was just like that type of movement. So, but the tarantula didn't get it, and so I didn't understand that. I don't know if the tarantula was gonna try to come back to it later at another point or what, but it wasn't on the edge, and it was in the middle. Not in the middle, but the tarantula literally, I don't know. So it ate 3 crickets. It ate 3. I'm great. I'm happy. That at least I won't be worried about it for so long. Like, at least, today's Friday. You ain't got shit to do. At least we can wait until like next, sometime next week or the week after that. I might be like, all right, gotta make sure the tarantula's good. But for at least this week, for a week, it should be good. So then I went to sleep, and then I was sitting there laying there, and I'm like, all right, I get up, and then, yeah, that would be the hopeful part, right? Cause low key, when I tapped the tank, the tarantula moved like over, it literally walked over it type of John. And then, so like, I'm not sure, like sometimes, a part of the whole process, like it bites the John, and then it has to wait for it to like kind of sort of like liquefy in a sense. And so this is almost like when you eat your cereal, but you want you wait for your cereal to get a little bit soggy. It's almost like that type of thing. And so like that was another one. I'm like, I'm not about to wait for this. Like the most I've seen my tarantula get 2 crickets at a time. Like eat one, put the little web over it, get another one, put the little web over it, put the web over both of the bodies, and then try to take down both of the bodies. I seen it do that before, but it didn't do that today. Well, I didn't see it do that happen. So then I was like laying there, but it would be nice to, when I check on it tomorrow, if it, if that cricket is still there, or I don't know. So then I was like laying there. I'm laying there for a little bit, and then I'm like, all right, let me get up, right? I'm like, all right, let me get up. So I get up, and I was like, let me look at the time. Now, with the designs today, nothing that I was like seriously like super excited for, right? However, it was getting to a point where I'm like, all right, if I want to have a good or a decent design session, I'm gonna need to whatchamacallit. Because remember, if it get up to a certain point, then stuff start getting mixed together, and yeah, so I was like, I don't want to reach that point. So I need a late night snack for that. Yeah, I like that. I definitely take that. That's for sure, right? Like, it's like it ate 3 crickets, and because mind you, that cricket that I'm sitting here talking about, it was the biggest one, and it matter of fact, all the crickets I got 4 large crickets. So none of the crickets were like small or medium. They were all big crickets. So maybe it was full, and maybe You know what I'm saying? It just was like, all right. Because, like what I said, like, it was on the edge and it wasn't moving that much. And so the fact that it was like towards the middle type John, maybe it was like, I don't know if the turntable got it, leave it there. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be nice though. Like, throughout the night, got something a little extra to eat. I don't know. I do hope it eats it though. Like, otherwise, you wasted money. Not that it's like super duper expensive, but still. Sleep, and then it was like, what time? I had some designs, and so I'm sitting here like, all right, it's getting to a point where if I let it go Saturday, Sunday, it's gonna get to the point where stuff started getting mixed together. So I've been having every design session has been perfect. So it's like, let's make sure I get this done, bro. Let me make sure I get this done. I'm not at it. But since I'm not pressed about it, it was like, let's see what time I wake up. So I woke up I checked the time, it was like 2:58. So I'm like, all right, cool. That gives me enough time to get to a computer. Got there, and then the first 7, it was like, I did the parts that I could do without taking too much time. I did those, and then the rest of it I just had to do like by the time I sat down. So made those first ones. I might archive the other one. Like, I don't really like it that much. So the first few ones that I did, I think it was like 6 or 7, 6, 7 or 8. I don't like whatchamacallit now, because you know that's like a running joke amongst like teenagers right now. Nah, like the cool thing is like feeding it one, you know. I just remember seeing like this one video, and this guy was feeding his John. He has like the little tongs, and he grabs a roach and puts it in front of the tarantula. And he has multiple tarantulas. He has a lot of tarantulas. So, I'm not sure if he has a lot, but it was multiple tarantulas. So, he fed his roaches. So it was cool to at least see that I think mine has had like maybe 2 or 3. And other than that, it's mostly crickets. So I sat down, designed, all the Goku shirts were going to be the ones that was going to take extra work. And then this is me telling you like the other so again, I didn't want to make stuff too hard for myself, but I didn't want to make stuff difficult for myself. Like with the font and the whatchamacallit, because it's a vintage faded black, the black might be like a subtle low key thing that you see. And so I had to one change up for that. And then but on the tan or the sand colorway, like you'll see the whole thing. But on the black one, and I think it's just kind of cool. Like it's like, oh man, this is here. Like, you see what I'm saying? So the Goku ones, I didn't even know what to call it. I just put regular Goku. I was like, this is regular Goku. It wasn't Super Saiyan Goku. So I did that. And then I don't know the difference between Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. So I just put those together. I wasn't even, because I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know the difference between Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And that's the title of that shirt. I don't know the difference between Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. So it's regular Goku, Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and then Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So the regular Goku and the Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, I offered those in the vintage faded black and the sand colorway. But the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I only offered in the faded black. And of course, the best one is the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And I only offered that one in the sand colorway. And I kind of thought that was like appropriate. It was like the Super Saiyan 3 was only in the vintage black. The Super Saiyan 4 is only in the sand colorway. So those are, again, we watched episode 13 last night. Episode 13 was lit. Episode 14 about to be lit, because I already know how it starts. It starts the way 13 ended. So that's the whole John. Then I saw Wella J. I saw 2 or 3. So I went back and counted. Updated the Samurai Champloo collection. Updated the memeable collection. And I just felt good. It just like, that was one of the other things I was just sitting there thinking about. Yeah, I got my Switch. We're gonna play Metroid today too. That's another goal for today. We gotta fight the next boss on I need to save my missiles. We gotta fight the next boss on Metroid. So then anything else? Episode 13, 14 might be nice. Oh, I think the other like cool thing that I'm just like appreciative of is the fact that I have a collection for the Samurai Champloo, and so that way all I'm doing is adding the new shirts and designs to that collection. And then of course when I go live, in the description box for those, it has the link to the collection. And so it's like, as long as I update the collection, that link to the collection, and it's just gonna show you all the new and updated designs, and so it's gonna be really cool. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there fleshing this out. I think one thing I thought about today was that I think it's I gotta say that with studying the peak of everything, Champloo is better than Bebop. I think I have to say that. It has more storytelling, more of it than the whatchamacallit. It kind of starts off similar, but the ones where they're doing like the part 1, part 2, and the connectivity, like it ought to, and that was one of the. So I might have to make this a separate segment, but yeah, I'm gonna try to make this. I'm gonna go ahead and make this a separate segment. Let me finish journaling. Okay. I'm just the design session. I'm just gonna write about the design session real quick. Just a couple little details about it. What was it? Let's see. First designs. And then oh, we added one shirt to the I actually didn't add that shirt to the conversation starters. Okay. I didn't. There's one shirt, the Your Imagination is God's Reality. I did that, but I didn't add it to the conversation starters collection. But that's a small task. That's a flaw. This will have a perfect design session. We've been doing pretty good though. Other than that, the main things. That's a small aesthetic part. Matter of fact, I gotta check that off I wrote that in my to-do list. So I checked that off. So we had a total 12 new designs. Okay. Anything else? We gotta play Metroid. See which one we got. And we're up way earlier than normal. We're up way earlier than normal. That's another thing. So I'm gonna have to. It's like, well, I at least know what I need to do for the Metroid jump. It's super simple. It's not difficult to get back to the other jump. I actually know at least two things I gotta do. There's this boss, whatever happens here, and then still gotta go back to like the main jump, and you gotta go over there and return one of the artifacts. We got an artifact. I know that's saved. So you gotta take that artifact back to the whatchamacallit. And that's after I beat this next boss. So we know what to do. At least have some direction. I ain't know what the heck to do. Like, that was a small thing. Like, going from yeah, that's just a small thing. Like, if you once you got the space boots, like, how was you supposed to know to just go back to the whatchamacallits? Or just keeping stuff in mind, like, okay, we probably gonna have to come back here. Like, but there's so many parts that have like the grapple part. So it's still mad stuff to like come back and explore. It's still mad stuff to like come back and explore. But anything else, man? So now we update. We might play Metroid. That's the only whatchamacallit. We'll be able to go to sleep decent. We'll definitely be able to go to sleep decent. Alright, time for Metroid. Oh, shout out conversation.